Hello and welcome back to another video. Last time I did a week of social media posts for authors. You all really seemed to love it, so I wanted to do another one. But if you missed that video, after you watch this one, be sure to watch this video for another 7 social media post ideas. When it comes to posting on social media as an author, we do need a strategy. It can be really fun to follow trends and just kind of post whatever we feel like, whatever inspires us. And I personally love doing that and just kind of going with what inspires me. But there is a strategy behind it. Strategy is a big word, but it doesn't have to be. When I think of strategy, I really just think of really leaning into what I see is working, having a purpose behind my posts, and really focusing on the reader in all of my content. Strategy can mean repeating what is working for you, losing what is not, and it should be something sustainable that you can keep up with without burning out, without spending all of your time on marketing. And I really attribute all of these different factors to how I've been able to grow my audience to more than 500,000 followers and sell so many books through social media. So if you are struggling to get seen on social media and find your readers, these posts will be great for you. And I also have my signature program coming out very soon in the next couple of weeks that is diving into everything you need to know about creating a magnetic presence on social media that you won't want to miss. So if you are interested in learning more about that program, I will be opening the door soon. You can get on my email list with the freebie linked in my description so that you'll be the first to hear about it. Okay, let's dive into the first one, which is kind of a fun one. Some of these today are a little bit more fun. Some of them are more strategic, and I'll get into that as we go through the video. So I really believe in kind of showing your personality, showing why you are the right author for them, for your audience. So this first one is going to be a character takeover. This is really fun for fiction authors that have characters in your book, and I'll show you for nonfiction authors how to apply this to yourself as well. But first, let me explain what it is. A character takeover is whenever you take over your social media account as if you were that character. So maybe it's your main character or maybe it's a side character in the book, but you kind of announce leading up to it that you were going to be doing a takeover and get questions from your audience, and throughout the day post as if you were that character in your book come to life in the real world. So this could look like a day in the life video where you kind of walk through like what this character would do in their day. Maybe you do a few different posts throughout the day, or you do this on your Instagram stories, for example, and just kind of show a behind the scenes of what that character might look like when brought to life. So this can be a really fun way to engage with your audience, do a Q&A as that character and answer questions about how you felt during certain moments of the book or anything that your audience thinks of to ask you. It can be a great way to get readers engaged who have already read the book, but then also inspire others who haven't read the book to check it out because you're being so engaging and fun with this. Just remember that the goal of this is to show more about your book. So anytime you can lean into the emotional elements of your book and the interesting plot points in the book, the better. And you also want to make sure to have a very clear call to action at the end of the day. This character is from your book, and here's where you can find the book. Now, if you are a nonfiction author and you don't really have characters per se, I know that there's a lot of different types of nonfiction books. So it could be a memoir, it could be more of an educational book, but if you have an aspect to your book that is educational, you could do an Ask the Expert segment on your social media for the day and take questions about your area of expertise and answer them throughout the day. Okay, the next one is going to be featuring some sort of social proof of your book. Now, a lot of authors, especially when they're first starting out and might not have a lot of reviews or might not have readers showing pictures of your book, of them reading your book on social media, but there are still ways to get social proof from others. The first one is to look at your comments. So this is, I think, a neglected area for a lot of us. We might respond to comments, but not really think about the fact that these could be good social proof for us. So something that I love to do anytime I get a comment saying that someone read the book and loved it or loved the post that I did, anything where it's just a positive comment toward you and your work, I screenshot it and save it in a folder just for my reviews and my social proof, because word of mouth is such an important factor in marketing. And I think a lot of us might forget that when we're making social media content, that word of mouth and other people selling our book for us is an amazing thing. So screenshot those comments, screenshot anytime a reader shares a picture of them reading your book. If you have characters in your book and people create fan art of your book, that's an amazing thing to screenshot, and then share them. So if you screenshotted someone else's post, you do want to ask for permission to share it to your page. You can share it to your stories on Instagram without needing to ask for permission. If they have a public page, there's just one click of a button to reshare to your story. So you can definitely do that, and I do that often. And show your appreciation for them. That's the key, because other people are going to see that you are appreciative, thanking your readers, acknowledging the comments, and they might be more likely to read your book and share a photo or even just leave comments on your page because they want to be recognized as well. So the more that you can kind of get that engagement going, the better. Another way that you can inspire that social proof is simply by encouraging people to leave comments by asking questions in your post, or just encouraging that dialogue, asking for people's opinions. You can do a fan art contest, or you can do a cutest pet contest and have your readers take a picture with your book and their pet. There's lots of different ways that you can kind of get your audience engaged. I don't know how you'd pick a winner for the best pet contest or cutest pet contest, but that's on you to decide. Those are just some fun ways that you can get your readers engaged in giving you that social proof. The next example is going to be doing a tour of your bookshelf. So this could be a fun TikTok or Reels video idea. It could be in your Instagram stories, or it could just be a photo that you post on your feed and describe your bookshelf in the caption of the post. What you want to focus on is books that are similar to yours, calling those out. You can even tag the authors in your post and potentially get wider reach on that post. Call out your favorite books in your genre, as well as other books not in your genre, and why you liked them. And bonus points if you can kind of connect those tropes, those themes, those favorite characteristics to your book as well. This can be a great storytelling type of post where you are really bringing your readers into your world, sharing why you're so passionate about the books that you write and other books and authors that have inspired you along the way. Okay, the next one is going to be a selling post. A lot of these other posts were under the category that I like to call show. So you're showing your readers why you are the right author for them, showing your personality, showing word of mouth and social proof, and now it's time to make the sale. And I know that some authors and my clients have struggled with being salesy or self-promotional. And there's definitely ways to go about this that aren't salesy, that aren't self-promotional. But remember that you are simply telling your readers about this book that you worked so hard on, that you wanted to impact them with in some way, whether that's entertaining them or providing educational value, depending on what your book is about. So by promoting your book, you're really just making sure that readers know it exists. So I do recommend that you are selling on your social media pages often. And that looks different for everybody depending on how often you post overall, but you should be making that sell. And if I come to your page, I should see you talking about your book and encouraging people to buy it without people having to scroll. So for this sell post, you could share an excerpt from the book. You could lead people to your lead magnet if you have a free chapter that you're giving away, or a free short story, or even a free book that you give away. I want you to focus on that in this post and make sure people know where to go to read more from you. Remember to focus the benefits of this on the reader. So whenever they take this action, what are they going to get out of it? Are they going to get this captivating short story in their inbox? Are they signing up for exclusive updates that no one else gets before them? What does that look like? And make sure you focus on that in your call to action. Okay, the next one is going to be a bit of a game to promote your book while also getting people engaged. So there's a couple different ways you can do this. The first one is a pick a number game. So you could put in your Instagram stories, for example, the question sticker, and ask people to pick a page number from your book. And then you'll select some of those page numbers and share your favorite quote from that page. You can do this in your story. You can put together an Instagram carousel, swiping through the different quotes. I would recommend underlining them or making graphics of the quote from that page so that people aren't getting the full page at once. But this can be a really fun way to talk about your book, to show really strong lines from your book that might engage people, leave them on a cliffhanger, or give them a little bit more insight into what the book's about. Another idea you could try is a caption this game, where you share a photo and encourage your audience to write a caption for it. So usually in games like this, the photo is kind of funny or silly, or you're not really sure what's going on in the photo. People leaving really funny comments about what the caption might be for the photo. So to make this related to your book, you want to take a picture with your book, or maybe you can find a really silly like stock image that would fit well to your book and encourage people to caption this in the context of your genre. So for example, if you write romance books, you could share a silly stock photo like this and say, caption this in the context of a romance book and see what people say. And then pick the one that makes you laugh the hardest or that gets the most likes in the comment section as the winner. And the next one is going to be another storytelling type of post. These types of posts really build trust and loyalty with your audience and make them feel really connected to you. So I definitely recommend sprinkling in that storytelling type of post regularly. So this prompt is going to be, tell your audience about a hardship or an obstacle in your book that a character faces or that you face if you wrote a nonfiction book, and relate it back to your own life. So if there is a character that overcomes some sort of obstacle or faces a challenge, compare that to a challenge that you faced in your life and kind of talk about that, how it impacted you, how you overcame it, and make sure that it's clear that you're talking about your book and where people can get it at the end of the post. But this is a really great way to just bridge that gap between your book and you and provide a human element to it. And I bet you that you'll get comments about people sharing their own obstacles and challenges similar to yours as well. I hope these 7 post ideas, I think that there was a little bit more than 7 in there, were helpful for you. Definitely take some time to think through how you can apply all of these to your own social media over the next week or two. And if you do use any of these ideas, feel free to tag me on Instagram or TikTok at writers.poets. I would love to see your post and interact with it as much as I can. And I will link my other week of social media posts here for you. Please make sure to hit the subscribe button and like this video if you enjoyed it. I post every single Sunday new book marketing tips and strategies for you. That is all from me for today. Don't forget to promote your book this week. Bye!